stuff.
That's right.
Yeah.
They don't know.
Yeah, the secrets of show business. So you guys all packed up, ready to go? I see.
Not pretty close.
Really? Oh my goodness. Oh, I see. I thought you'd just stay for a few more days.
Well.
Ah.
Oh, Alice. Oh, I'm gonna steam this before you get started.
What's that?
I'm gonna make noise before you get started.
Oh, people are coming. Maybe. Maybe you're coming. Maybe. Well, you snuck out of church early today, huh? To join me. Well, that's nice. I don't know if you're worried about your soul or your pocketbook. What's cooking? You know what? There's cooking over there. They're cooking an espresso. That's what's cooking, and I got a nice cup of espresso. You know, it took me, I think, 10 years to realize it. Espresso is spelled with E-S and not E-X. Espresso. Isn't that weird? I mean, I'm a terrible speller. That's why I found out, what I do, I spell like I talk. So I'm not a bad speller, I'm a bad talker. So I try to spell the words like I say them, you know. And that ain't working. I'm just saying them bad. But now I was listening to, I just came back from running, and actually somebody said, oh, see, I have my running pants on. I don't know, you can't see them. See that? These are what I run in. Maybe you got them back there. You go. Yeah. Okay. So I just thought I'd turn on the jacket so you know it's me. So I put some question marks on to make sure. And people, when I go running in my neighborhood, they call me fancy pants. A lot of sort of like old guys. They don't know what else to say, so they say, "Oh, hi, fancy pants." I guess they never watch TV or whatever the hell it is. But there's a Margaret Mead's daughter. Remember? Are you old enough to remember Margaret Mead? You know, she was a big anthropologist. Is that the word? Anthropology. You know, go out and study societies and stuff like that. But her daughter has a book on developing a life, you know, and she's a big hotshot professor now and everything like that, and it's pretty cool. So you hear the cooking going on over there. Well, that's right. There was another order placed for an espresso. So that's it. At this time of morning, you know, in our house, it's like everybody's got to get an espresso. Man, it's our drug of choice. Actually, my son is teaching me about other drugs. Most of which are illegal. I think, and that's sort of interesting. But there's so much, and there's new ways. Actually, I helped somebody on my hotline yesterday who's selling one of these herbal kind of stimulants, you know. And we talked for a good time on the phone, and that's why this Lesko.com/talk that I do now. Boy, I just. It's so easy. I think it's so efficient too, because in 10, 15 minutes, I can help somebody, show them the sources. I send it to them. I do the research and send it to them. And so, yeah, instead of, you know, I used to send books that were as big as, you know, that people use for door stoppers, you know, and trying to find all the stuff you need in there. But wait, no, you just tell me. And another thing is to show people other ways to do things. This is what Margaret Mead was talking about. You have to, you're a curator, like in a museum. You know, life is, you know, we develop our life as an artist. That's what life is all about, you know. We're living longer, but thinking shorter, too, in our society. And that's what's screwing us up, you know, as she said. We have this short-term, you know, objective already, but we're living longer. So we got to think longer in our careers and things like that. And business is that way. The next quarterly profits, you know. But shit, you're going to be here for 50 more years, you know. You got to think about this. We're living longer to do that. So it's new ways of developing a life and being an artist with your life, because nothing works. I mean, it seems like, and what she professes that we all have these, we want the 7 rules for living a wonderful life forever, or some shit like that. You know, we go to school and they say, okay, here are the 5 things you have to do to be successful. Here are the 10 things, you just check off this list here, you know, and you're going to be a superhero in life. And that turns out to be bullshit, you know, and you have to go through about 4, 5, 6, 7 years of life to get all that crap out of your head to figure out that none of that is working, and that life is an improv. You know, that's what it is. And you got to go there and out there and just improvise. That's the whole thing of life. You know, it's like, and the only way they teach improv is in comedy clubs. And that's what they should be teaching in school, is how we have to just be, you know, improv with our life and be an artist and build this life from scratch, whatever it is, and use our talents or our desires or our philosophy and ideology or whatever the hell it is inside, and build it up. There's no cookie cutter. They're not working anymore. Maybe they did when we had longer term planning. It worked forever and shit like that, but nothing works anymore. You know, so you got to build it from the inside out, you know, and things are changing. There's new rules about everything, you know, like, you know, when most people go, you know, get out of college now, when they were going into college, well, they had to pay, you know, borrow $50,000 a year to go to college, right? Well, now, more and more colleges are giving it away for free. That's right. You go to college for free. You know, and there's a new one now, Rhode Island. You know, you go for school in Rhode Island for free. Isn't that amazing? Absolutely free. It's junior college, but what the hell, man? That's 2 years for free. You know, you're going out. You know, Rhode Island's doing it now. Who else is doing it? Tennessee. You could go to college for free. That's that's junior college, community college. Man, so I mean, that could be worth $100,000 right there if you're going to some snobby school at $50,000 a pop, you know. And the college debt is ruining your life. You know, kids aren't getting married; they're having pets instead of children. You know, that's why the pet business is growing. That's an easy way to make extra money now. Is taking care of people's pets. And that's a boom industry, you know. Easy money on the side, no overhead, no nothing, and it's easy now with the internet, with the platforms that help you do that. So there's Rhode Island, Tennessee, Oregon does it, and New York is starting this fall 4 years of free college. But wait a minute, it's income dependent. That's right, boy. It's only for those poor people. And guess who the poor people are? People making less than $125,000 a year. That's right. So you're making $125,000 a year, and you're considered poor. Man, you know what that is? That's in the 80% of the country is underneath that. Yeah. That's where the top 25% is. And actually, I read another book about how the top 25% are the people are hoarding all the good stuff in our country. You know, all the laws are really for them. They know how to use the system so good that they make laws so they perpetuate using the system, or they only their kids can go to college, you know, and not the other kids that don't have parents that went to these colleges. All this kind of stuff that is subliminal or real or whatever. It's probably just human instinct, you know, that people are taking over, that they don't realize they're doing it. So maybe that's why that's set at $125,000, you know, in New York State. But that's amazing to me that now, and it's creeping up, like even New York's living expenses are ridiculous. That's New York City, but just think if you live in Albany. This is all of New York. You're right. People think they're poor if they're making $1 million in New York. In New York City, that is. Actually, New York, to me, what's interesting is it's great for real rich or real poor. You know, it's the middle class that it sort of sucks being, I think, in Manhattan. But that's what's going on. So yeah, all these things, you know, that Bernie was trying to run on, you know, as president, you know, it's creeping in, you know, and that's what's going on. And it's being aware, I think, more importantly, that there's new ways of doing things. Like now, I was helping somebody on the phone they needed like, you know, $7,000 or whatever it was to be a coach. Okay, so I mean now apparently, you know, to be a life coach. So people don't know what to do with their own life. So, I'll be a life coach. Yeah, and that's sort of interesting, but I guess there's a need. There's so many people don't know what they'll do, so we all need help. But apparently what's going on is that there's people who've been in the coaching business a while. Well, I'll train you to be a life coach, you know. And I guess that's, you know, basically nothing wrong with it. But man, if you don't have any money and now you have to come up with $5,000, $6,000, $8,000 to be a life coach, and you're not even sure you're going to make money at it, man, I still think that's a wrong way of doing something. Because to be a life coach, what you need, what you really have to figure out is not how to coach people, is how to get a client. That's the key to coaching. I think if you can't get a client, you're going to spend all these months, years, or whatever figuring out how to be a life coach, whatever that is, and that's something very nebulous. Sure, there's people in clubs saying what it is, but who the hell knows? You know, learn on you know, go on YouTube and watch videos on how to be a life coach. Get some basics down. And now, instead of going to 6 months and spending $6,000 or $8,000 being a life coach, go to somebody who is a successful life coach and tell them that you want to sell their coaching services. Okay. So the same, see now what you have to do, you're going to take somebody else who's a life coach, and they maybe make you, give you, I mean, if they're decent or nice people, they'll probably give you anywhere from, you know, 20% to 50%. I don't really know for sure. I haven't done that. But, you know, you sell my stuff, I'll give you half of what I get. So I'll give you 50% or 20%, depending on if it's custom stuff, it has to be 20%. If it's a product, it'll be 50%. So that's why, so you could go to these existing life coaches, okay, that are big in the industry and say, hey, let me sell your stuff and give me 20% of what I bring in. Okay, now the same amount of effort that you would put in selling your own coaching services, you're really selling for something else. And see, the success of you as a coach is not dependent on how good of a coach you are, unfortunately. It's depending on how well you know how to get business. You know, and that determines your success or failure at that. So that's why now if you go to somebody who's already in business, say, hey, I will figure out how to get business and just give me 20%. Of everything. So you figure that out first. That costs you nothing. That gets you paid if you're successful. Instead of spending that money, spending that time or whatever, trying to learn how to what they so-called be the coach, and I don't know what the hell it is, you know, about life coach, and you know, you learn that way, and you're making money learning it. You know, it's sort of like your own apprentice program that you created. Instead of going to this education that promises you when you graduate, look all the people getting master's and bachelor's degrees and 4 years colleges and promise them the world when they get it right, and they're you know, making coffee at Starbucks. You know, something like, you know, 40% of the recent college graduates are making $25,000 or less a year. And after they have debt of $50,000 or $100,000 or whatever the heck it is, you know. So that's why I think all of life now has to be, you know, a way of thinking things differently. We have in our minds of these old ways of keeping score and the checklists we have to have and all that kind of stuff. And that doesn't really work anymore. You know, it's not, we have to find new ways because nothing happens. I mean, look at just data. I mean, that's what I like about data. It shows you in macro terms what's happening. One people losing a job, you know, it hurts that one person, but how bad is that? What kind of trend? What do I have to be careful of in life or what? Well, now, like my generation, you know, that got out of college and started their careers, 90% of us did better than our parents. 90%. Now it's down to 50%. Only 50% are doing better than their parents. So this is what's happening in the country, right? So we're not, when everyone, 90% was doing better than their parents. Wow, everybody's good. So everyone's, what happened, half the country is seeing their kids doing worse than they are. I thought we were, and to me, that's ironic because we're still growing as a country. We're not growing 10%, we're still growing 2% or whatever it is, So there is increase in wealth, but most of that's going to that top 20%, so if only half the people, their kids are not doing as well as their parents, when it used to be 90%. That's in my generation, that we did 90%. So that's why this is almost sort of like un-America. But whatever it is, maybe there's a better way to live. That's another thing. So that's why it's being flexible in my mind. It's being resourceful and not relying on old think that happened when 90% of the people did better than their parents. Now only 50% of the people. So we can't follow those old rules anymore. There has to be no new rules to do anything, and it's changing monumentally. I mean, the new jobs are created are really gig jobs. Look at people like Airbnb and Uber and things like that. These are trillion-dollar companies, as big as Fortune 500 companies that started, just in the last 5-6 years, are worth more than billion-dollar companies, and they have no employees. No employees. Yeah. So one of these companies that are like $40 billion, like Airbnb, I mean, they're up in that range somewhere. That's 3 times Hyatt Hotel. The value, they're 40, Hyatt Hotels like 15 billion or something like that, but they only have, Airbnb only has like 3, 4, 5,000 employees. That's right. Hyatt Hotel has 100,000 employees or something like that. I mean, it's just a significantly different way of life and way to live and how you survive. Or whatever. And that's why what you learned in school or what you think, parents are telling you, we heard of people paying their bill with UCC1. I don't know what UCC1 is. I mean, there's all kind of, except for value. Is that true? I don't know what UCC1 is. It sounds like a scheme. When in doubt, it sounds easy. It sounds like a scheme. That's why most of the time I'm telling you, it may sound easy because of my enthusiasm about it. I believe that these are true tools to work. The tools I'm giving you are either they're not so much, they're either a government program or a nonprofit organization or some new way of generating income. Sort of like Airbnb. Well, you have to have an asset or use other people's asset, to do that. What was that shift gig? .com, where you could get, just work anytime you want, when you want, or whatever. And this is doing real jobs, but it's on a platform that makes it easier. Like my son delivers, food for, he just needs another 50 or 100 bucks. He just opens up his iPhone and he goes out and, it generates the money like that, which is an easy way to do things. It's a lot easier than getting part-time jobs anywhere else. They're not full, they're occasional, there's no bullshit involved. It's easy, and that's the flexibility. I mean, that's what's happening now. Let's see, you were on TV for a long time. What happened to you? What happened to you? I'm here. Can't you see? Hi. Oh, why aren't I on TV anymore? Because TV doesn't work anymore. Yeah, I still got to educate people about this stuff. So that's why I'm here and not on TV. What happened to me? I got older, too. I don't feel older, but, obviously we all do. But it's fun. I mean, it's still important work for me. I love doing it. And I got 20 more years, I feel like it. How broke do you need to be as crazy as you? Well, I don't feel broke, so I don't know what it is. But it's not crazy. It's having fun, whatever you. That's what I mean about when I was hearing about this new book by Margaret Mead's daughter about how we have to create our own life, and it's building an art. Your life is a work, is your own artwork. That you have to build, and you have to do it in improvisable. I need a new job, okay? Yes, and there's ways to get those new jobs, the ways to test. There's ways to live on now to get money while you're building your new job. Blah, 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 blah. I'm playing respect for you. Boy, these things go down so fast. I lose them. Oh, I don't know. How can I get them back? I don't know. Now I got no. Now I don't even see anything. Maybe it'll go away soon. But anyway, yeah, we have to build it. I mean, we're all artists in our own life, and that's because we're living so long. I mean, that's even more important because we have to, have something that fulfills us for a long time. If you're doing just do something, then you're not giving more. And that's the other thing I think about life is trying to find something in life where you're giving as much as you possibly can. And I think that's the key in life. How do you find something to do that you could give harder than anything else? It's sort of like love. I mean, that's what it is. You're loving your professional side. Are your books still like, no, I don't do books anymore. Lesko.com is where, or lesko.com/talk. This is what I'm doing now. I talked about the things that I help people just on the phone, and then I send you links to solve your problem, where these sources of free help are to do anything you want in life. Or I do custom research reports, lesko.com/research. And so if you want to start a business, I'll show you 200 programs to start a business where you live, or 300 to pay your bills while you're trying to get by, or 100 programs for you to buy real estate or fix up real estate, or just find a house to live in. So they're the kind of custom research reports I do. And so it's lesko.com, and then lesko.com/talk, and lesko.com/research. And the examples I'm giving you here are the kinds of things, because we all need help doing other things. Like here, if you have debt, man, here's a number. I mean, if you have student loan debt, look at this number. Okay. Oh, it's backwards, isn't it? Oh, damn it. I forgot to turn it around. Well, anyway, it's 877-557-2575. 877-557-2575. Maybe you got it right ways or backwards. Okay, what that is, your student debt ombudsman. Okay, what the hell is an ombudsman? Ombudsman is that's your hero. All the help comes from, well, some help. No, it's not backwards. Okay, good. Yeah, that's a government office that is there to protect you for the scalpers who try to screw you over with student debt. There are a lot of programs now that you don't have to pay your debt if your income goes down. There's a lot of people that are screwing you over on bad debt, and are colleges that are not fair, to you, and you could get out of that debt. So there's ways to get out. What you want to do is maybe Google payment plans, student debt, but don't go to anything that does not have .gov in it. So you want to find the Department of Education. Only websites you want are the Department of Education and Consumer Finance. They're both government websites, so you want to make sure you get .gov. People are making millions, even billions, because people are in trouble with their student debt. So that means there's sharks all over the internet trying to say that they could solve your problem. Yeah, and it's stuff that you could do for free because it's going to cost you if you go to those people, because they have to pay for that advertising. That's the problem with Google, is that it's there for people who want to get your money, to get it, because they'll find you on there. You got a problem, you're going to Google it, and they're going to be there to try to get your money to solve your problem. And what I'm trying to show people in life, they're alternatives to that. You know, the same way you want to get a job. Well, there's people out there who will help you and charge you money to get a job. Like the guy who wanted to spend $7,000 to be a life coach or something and take this course over. Why? You learn how to get a job. You're not even sure you want to do this yet. You know, I mean, you're postponing the inevitable. The inevitable about any venture is getting a customer. So don't go and build up a whole thing, you know, and spend money or get in debt or spend, you know, the next 2 years of your life trying to find money for this whole thing and then go out and find a customer. No, you find a customer first, you know, and you could do that now, particularly like with the internet. Like I helped a lady, actually she was trying to raise money. She's a science teacher, doesn't have money in a public school. So we talked about how she can raise money for her science class, you know, and do it very successfully on the internet through crowdfunding. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that's available, you know, and get the kids involved, and the kids will do it too, and then they'll do a little, you know, video themselves. And what would be better than a kid, you know, talking about how their school needs science money, you know, and then instead of her going to the county council or whatever, and all that bullshit that we normally do in life, but you know, and the kids could sell it better than any grown-up can, you know, and that's the power we have in our society right now for anybody to do this, anybody to solve problems and not go through the traditional channels. But that's why particularly older people were just so ingrained with there's only one way to do things. Do it by the book. The goddamn book doesn't work anymore. You can't do it by the book. You know? And what's neat about these other ways of doing it, see, if you're wrong, the new way, I mean the old way, like this guy wants to study to be a life coach. If he's wrong, he's out like 6 months of his life and $6,000 or $10,000, right? This way, he's out nothing, and he's making money learning how to do it. That's how to do things. Yeah, don't go. Actually, a young guy came over here the other day. He wanted to do the same thing. He wanted to go down and learn how to be ecotourism, you know, in the business, and there was some, you know, training thing down in Costa Rica or something he's going to spend all this money on, and it's not going to happen until next year. So he's going to waste 1.5 years of his life. Man, no, he could go out and do something for free and sell ecotourism to people, you know, to see how people buy it, learn, and make money doing it instead of screwing around doing nothing and then giving somebody, you know, a whole bunch of money and with no guarantee. There's no guarantee in life. And instead, and wasting 1.5 years, instead just cutting to the chase and going right to the, you know, the thing important. See, there's 1,000 things to do in life. There always is. And we live in a society that's so abundant. And for you to be successful, you could think of 1,000,000 things that you need to do to be successful, you know, but you don't have time to do any of that. And if you don't concentrate on the right things, you're just wasting time. And the whole thing is beat the clock against time and money. So the more money you spend and the more time you spend, the longer it's going to take for you to figure out what to do, and as a result, you're not going to do it because you're going to run out of money and time before you figure it out. So the key is to do things with a less amount of time and no money. So you'll never run out of money if you're never spending it because you don't know what to do. And I learned that really simple rule after I had 2 businesses that failed. Because then I realized, gosh, there's only one thing that is critical to success of any business, and that's getting a customer. All the other bullshit really doesn't matter. You know, so if I went and took courses, went and got the beautiful office building, and all these things, sure, you can make a case, you know, for everything is important. And you talk to a professional person, yes, you have to be an LLC. You have to have these legal things. You have to have, maybe, maybe not, but who the hell cares? You don't have anything now. So learn how to get a business first. You know, and to have business, and that's getting a customer. So you do the simplest thing by using somebody else's or whatever to learn how to get a customer, then you build the rest around. Now I know how to get customer. I got the key to the whole thing of being successful in business, and then I could get on and do it the way I want to. Because otherwise you do it the way you want to and then go out and get a customer, you know, You'll probably fail. I mean, me in writing books, I've written 100 books and only 10 have made money. I'm wrong 90% of the time. And I don't think I'm a dumb person. Sure, I'm not a genius or anything like that, but I don't think I'm dumb. And I still am only right 10% of the time on something that I think about a lot. And I'm in it every day, So that's why it's key, not to spend all that money doing things. And you have to think of an alternative way to do it that doesn't cost you money so you could stay in business. Look at all the stupid people running things, okay? The only way you get there is to figure it out. And you have to figure it out your way, what works for you, not what works for somebody else. You can take their suggestions, but it may not work for you. You got to figure it out. Wait a minute. You get a nice dress sense. I'm not wearing a dress, I'm wearing shorts, actually. My running pants. I just came back from running and I wanted to do this. Whatever. But that's, so if you have college debt, Google, payment plans for college debt and only go to .gov. That's it. And then the ombudsman number, that's another thing. You could call them to help any problems you have with that. Just don't, any company that calls you up, sends you an email, I'm hoping to hear from you about things, what was that, things, let me see. I'm hoping to hear about things I can get going funding for my daughter's first year at college. Yeah, there's a bunch of things. I got, if you go to Lesko.com/tutor, I have a bunch of prepackaged reports. One is on paying for college, and I have a whole bunch of, I got about 15, 20 things. I should update that soon, but it's very reasonable, like $5. It'll show you, 20, 30 ways, to not pay for college. And that's what I have. If you want me to do research, the other thing I have is on my research, Lesko.com/research. I have a custom report that has, there's about 300 programs in there, but it's also not only paying for college and training and things like that, it's also for paying daily expenses while you're in college. So all the programs that are available, I have that in that report. And that's a custom. I do that. I work my butt off every day. That's why I got to get off this and start doing. I'm behind in these reports, and thank God people want them, and I'm able to be behind because it's better than having nothing to do. The most important thing is doing work, I think, in life. I mean, something you like to do. If you like to do it, then you'll do it well. If you like to do it and you do it well, you could help other people. And I think we're here just to help other people. That's the only thing in life. And you're going to be here for a while, no matter what age you are, because we're living so long. I'm trying to look out. I miss. Why can't I get? I don't know how to read the notes on Periscope. You could also, people on Periscope, maybe the information is going by so quickly. If you have something, you could also email me at lescofreeradio@gmail.com. That's lescofreeradio@gmail.com. And if you don't hear from me in 2 days, then just beat on me. I'm an old fart. I got a lot I'm doing, and I love doing my stuff, and I just forget. So just beat on me, and I'll try to answer. I can't do complicated things, but I can point you in some direction. Also, the playlists on YouTube. I got 2,000 videos on YouTube. Interviews. I've interviewed about 1,000 people who use free money to get to do things in life, and then also my own things that I do. Hey, this is interesting, and educate people about that. So you could see that on YouTube.com/Matthew Lesko. Look at the playlist. I try to organize them there as best I can. And that's a free place. Or here's another thing too. You want sources to start getting information. Go to lesko.com/5, the number 5, free, FREE, all in small letters. and download a video report that shows you my best 5 places to get free money and help for anything, whether it's starting a business, getting out of debt, buying a house, going back to college, paying your bills, all these kinds of things. So I have the best 5 starting places, and these are the places that I go to when I get a client request, that they need help for something. I'll start there. So I'll show you how to do that. I got video instructions of how to use these things. So it's step by step, and you can learn. You've done so much for so many people over the years. Is that a relative saying, oh, thank you so much? I mean, that's the nicest thing, someone could say, at least to me. I don't know how you all feel, but that what you're doing in life is important. What else do we want? We want to be loved in a way, and that's why the skills you have is a way to give. And then if you give, then what gives you fuel to give more is positive feedback. On one previous videos, you mentioned grants for teacher to buy a home. Yes, that's a 50%. That's called Good Neighbor Next Door program. Good Neighbor Next Door is 50% discounts for teachers, firemen, police, emergency medical people. If you go to HUD, Good Neighbor Next Door, you will find that. And remember, .gov, that's the only way you want to see that is .gov. And what I do too is do a report that's very reasonable, like $40, $50, that I'll show you all the programs where you live to buy real estate or fix up real estate. It's over 100 programs. Because I've been doing this a long time, and I've done 100 or so of these reports. So but I show them just for the links where you live and how to find all these programs, because there's federal, there's state, there's county, there's nonprofit organizations, but most of the programs are in the local area. How do I access that report? The report is custom, so I have to make one for you. And that's $49 that I make the housing one. And if you go to lesko.com/research, research all in small words, RESEARCH. So lesko.com/research, and just put, I have 2 research reports there on housing. One is on flipping a house and one is buying a house. It's the same report. So any of those reports, I'll do it. And it takes me really about 2 weeks to do these. Sometimes I get a day or 2 behind, and sometimes I can catch up. So be patient with me if you can, because I feel, oh, Tika, I remember you. Nice of you that you're back. Public speakers, did you get this? Public speakers are members. I'm not sure what that was on the public speakers. Maybe that was something, just junk mail or something. But I mean, gosh, I've done so many of these. I know where they are. See, the things will be called different things everywhere. So because it's money that goes from the federal to the state, and then there's programs in the state, then a lot of that money goes to the city, and there's programs in the city, then it goes to the county, then there's programs in the city, and then the county that create those programs, then there's nonprofit organizations that get some of that money, and they create programs. So that's why there's not one easy place, to find all this stuff. But I'm here, and I just want to help as many people. I know with I just know that I know something that could probably help a lot of people. Sure, it doesn't work all the time for everybody. Nothing does. And at my age, I'm learning that more and more. We think we're Superman and do everything. No, but there's still a lot of people that need help, and that's the important thing. And they're the people I want to reach. I started out helping rich people, and that really got boring. I mean, what I do, like these research papers now for $50, I used to charge thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars. Yeah, because they'll pay. They know that's worth millions to them. But the average person help those that take action. Yes, you have to take action. That's the key. I mean, that's one of the tools. The bottom line in all this is it's up to you to do something, and that's why I hate about coaching in a way, is that, get out there and do it. Okay, now what do I do? And I help a lot of people when I do my telephone thing, the talk. Have you heard of NACA, the Neighborhood Assistance Corporation America. I sort of maybe think I do. I think they help with down payment money or something like that. You know, some kind of money they help you get for down payment or something. I think, I'm not positive. But you know, like coaching, you know, they say, okay, you go out and get out there and do it. You know, just do it and all that kind of stuff. And I think people come to me for that, but I want to give you tools. Okay, here's what to do. Here's if you want to start a business, I encourage you to go do it. Well, then where do I start? Well, I'll show you how to get free marketing help. I'll show you how to get free contracts for your business. I'll show you how to get free marketing for your business. I'll show you how to get money to live on while you start your business. All those practical problems instead of just the enthusiasm, you know, of going out and starting it, you know. And easier ways to start it, that you don't need money to start a business. Here's a way. Here's what you don't need. You don't have to be an LLC. You don't have to do this. You don't. All these kinds of things you don't need. Instead of just do it, you know. And what's stopping your head? You know, maybe your father said that you were a bad person, so you don't think you could do anything. You know, I mean, that's part of it too. That most of the things, you know, it's just us that's stopping us from doing things. But now I want to be practical and give you tools, you know, to really get it done. You know, here's a tool, here's a hammer, here's a saw, everything. You want to build a house? Okay, here, I'll give you the tools, you know, and here's how to get it. Oh, I see my, one thing was going out of power. So, anybody else have any questions before I go? I gotta do this research. Let them know. Right. Oh, Tika, how are you? So nice of you to be there. Let me know if I can help. You know, that's what really gives me an opportunity to feel. I mean, we all want to feel a value, you know, and that's what I want to do. I hope my work gives you the tools to create something for yourself that you can contribute in life. Because the more you contribute, the more life, I think, becomes worthwhile. You know, life is tough. You know, it's tough for me. It's tough for all of us. You know, and the way to soothe that is to, if you have something bigger than you to worry about, and you're worrying about, you know, outside of yourself, it's too easy. If I don't have something I think is important doing, something worry about me. How do we get to work with you? At leskofreeradio@gmail.com. Yeah, just write me there, tell me what you want to do, and yeah, we all need help. You should conduct workshops in grant writing. You don't need a grant writer. See, that's the one thing I'm trying. Somebody said I should conduct a workshop in grant writing. Well, you don't need a grant writer to do it. To get free money. Only 20% of the free money the government gives out is called grants. Yes, anybody wants to help me, you know, get my message out or help people like this, write me at leskofreeradio@gmail.com. I could show you how, and I'll give you 20% of whatever you get, you know, if you have ways, you know, to interest people in that. It is. I mean, I don't know what I'm doing every day. You know, I'm faking it. Lesko.com, that's one of the things. But look at Lesko.com/research. That's what I'm doing on custom research too. So I'm, you know, guessing. I have no idea. Ever since I learned how to make money, you know, being on talk shows and stuff like that, and I did very well. Did very well, but now that doesn't work anymore. But I still want to get the information out. People don't buy information like they used to. Reference bookstores are going out of business. So all that. So I have to learn all over again, and that's fine. I'm having fun learning. You know, thank God. Leskofreeradio@gmail.com. Yes, please, because you know, we all need that help. And I have 20 years. I feel to give. You know, and I'm getting better at this. I'm doing better research now than I ever had in my life. You know, and the reports, I'm creating new ways of get the information, not just old directories. I mean, you get a report from me, you know, you get 200 sources with 100 instructional videos in there. And that's, nobody else is doing that other thing. And I didn't have a plan for that. I just go out and do things. Is there a transcript for this? You have to watch it again. Everything, if you see this on a video, you could run the video again. I'm a high school teacher in the Bronx. I keep hearing that I can apply for grants for school supplies. There are some crowdfunding places for that. Yes, can't seem to find that the time to do that right now. Send me an email. Maybe I have it easy to send you, and then you don't hear from me in 2 weeks, and just beat on the old guy and tell me I forgot that stuff. But there is, if you put, I know there's at least two websites for crowdfunding for school supplies. So if you Google crowdfunding school supplies, and see what that. Let's see. I still can barely hear you. So re-listening won't help. Oh, you barely hear me. Oh, I'm sorry. Huh. I wonder why. On YouTube, anybody else not able to hear me for some reason? I don't know why. That's the first time. No, I don't know how to do a transcript. I can hear you fine. That's on another one. That's not YouTube. How about YouTube, folks? You hear me on YouTube? Come on, somebody, right? Somebody's there, I know. Somebody's there on YouTube. Do you hear me? The suit is on point. Yes, I have 20 suits like this. Wear them every day. Actually, my son is getting married in a couple months, and he was up in my closet. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Oh, you hear my fine Luz? Thanks you. Up in my closet, because I got 20 question mark suits, and actually I give the old ones away for fundraisers if anybody wants to raise money with an old question mark suit. But it's low. But I use the volume. Oh, I see. Huh? It is though. That's interesting. Anyway, so he was choosing the color that would be right for the wedding. Oh, thank you, Armalie. I can't read it. Deanna. Yeah, fine. Oh, wonderful. Okay. So it's good enough. Good. So he's choosing the one color, and I have one a black and white check with yellow question marks on top of the black and white checks. And then I got a great 3-color one that I just got back from Vietnam. Vietnam is where I have them made. I go to, I don't know if you heard me say this before, to Spoon Flower. That's where you can get 3D fabric printed. It's sort of like 3D. You just send them a picture. I could send them this picture of me. Something like that, and they'll make fabric with that picture all over. Isn't that great? And it's cheap as hell. So I get a couple yards made down there. I send it to Vietnam, and they make it and send it back because they have all my measurements. And then for a few $100s, I got a suit, man. It's cheaper than anything I could buy anywhere. And I've been doing this 15, 20 years maybe, wearing question mark suits. My cars have question marks on them. Here, see, I have a little tattoo on my hand. You see that? Yeah. My son has one like that too. The older son is a little more hippie-ish than the other guy. So that's pretty cool. So it's fun, and that's why it's trying to encourage other people. And there was something in me, I had to create my own life. To be satisfied, but I think I'm no different than anybody else. It's just how much you get indoctrinated. I wasn't good at all the shit they told me I should be doing. Thank God, otherwise I'd be doing something I was bored at, because I was doing it mediocre. So that's what's so great about failing. It gets you out of that stuff that you probably shouldn't be at anyway. It's sort of like a bad date. You gotta, don't wind up marrying a bad date, right? But most of us do that in our job, right? You want to have one of those dates where, not that, oh shit, it's only 9 o'clock, oh God, it just started. You want to have one of those dates where, wow, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, what the hell happened? That's the kind of place you want to work too. So you got to build that, and that's the other thing. Now, I'm not using anything but YouTube directly. Somebody said I may be OSB or something. I'm not sure what that means. But no, I'm streaming directly on YouTube. I'm also on some like Facebook and whatever, but that's all directly. Everything is direct. I have 3 different cell phones here. Doing it. I am there. Great. Great. And that's the important thing, that we're all here. But it's finding, it's trying to find out what your skills are. It's trying to find out, what your values are, trying to understand what's out there. So find a place to fit it in that gives you money to live on, so you're not a burden. And I think that's the key to life. And now I see that, before in our society, when it was only straight up, everybody was going into the safe things, and now nothing's safe. So now it's a better chance for more people to start building the life they really want to live. And because you're going to be living a long time. Like my grandparents all died at 60. I'm 72, 3, 4, I'm 74 now. So I figure I have 20 more years, So that's cool to me, I could keep going, and so I want to do something. So books don't work anymore, I'll find something else. But the passion to me is doing what I think I do better than anybody, is going out in the maze of all this crap and find you the good stuff. And then if you have one idiot like me just finding that good stuff, 61 here, and I'm still going, yeah, 61, you're a kid. Love your positivity. Well, it's too easy to be angry, and I get blue, of course, and down, and I sort of like that. I mean, to me, having a box of crayons with only yellow in it is sort of boring. I think all those other parts of life are fun too. But to me, the energy in doing something, and doing something I like doing and think is important, I mean, that's above everything else, and keeps me going more than anything. And running 5 miles a day certainly helps, because if you don't have your health, man, you're really screwed. And so I try to do that. Initially it was for vanity, now it's just for sanity and longevity. Feel like a kid and work like one with a massive energy. Yes, you can, and you could. See, that's another reason that when you start wearing a suit, so even if it doesn't work, I feel, boy, I have to do it to show people you can do things. You can do anything you want. It doesn't matter. We have things in our head that we think, oh, we can't do that. And the experts will tell you, you can't do that. And like in the suit, I lost literally millions of dollars when I started wearing the suits. People wouldn't have me on TV anymore. That's where I made all my money. And I said, well, this was more important than that. I really wanted to do it. And boy, it changed my life to the better more than anything else. I got no encouragement. I mean, some, but the people, who were throwing money at me decided not to throw money at me anymore. And that, and we're smart enough to think of a way to make it okay. Okay, I should, like, I would go through my mind, well, it's their party, so I should dress accordingly, and all this kind of bullshit. I said, no, I'm not having fun. That's why after I had 2 failures, I said, Jesus. When I had a failure, I said, oh, I wasn't having any fun. I was doing it like everybody else told me. And the only time I have fun if I do it the way I think is good. Sure, a lot of times it doesn't work, but I learn more. I have more fun. That's the key. Most of it doesn't work anyway. But you learn more if it's your stuff that doesn't work. If it's somebody else's stuff that you try and doesn't work, then you just blame them. You call them an idiot, and you go on with your life, so you don't understand why it didn't work more. Are you going to be blessed for many lives to come for the wonderful? Whoa, that is wonderful to hear. Well, working from home is very, yes, I mean, I don't commute. My daily jog is longer than any commute I've ever done. And I go, and that's also mental therapy when I do that. I don't need to ask a boss, yeah, but my boss sometimes is a tyrant, makes me get up in the middle of the night to do something because he wants me to do it. Thank you for sharing your gift. See, all that in life is just, I mean, that's why this kind of feedback that you guys give me, I would never, growing up or whatever, could never believe I could get anything like that. Any kind of positive feedback like people give me now. I mean, I pinch myself, I don't believe it. It could happen. 9 o'clock. I getting too emotional. You don't want to hear that, do you? But that's part of life. That's part of me. I don't mind sharing any of that. I know I'm stupid. I know I'm a lot of things. But okay, let me go do this research for people. They're waiting for my reports. I promised it to them, and I better go do them. Don't ever let people get you down. Yeah, they still do them, but I try to just get over it. And you have to reflect. I mean, if you're not analyzing your life and making sure, and we give you a chance to say, hey, is this really what I want to do? Maybe there's something there I shouldn't. And to evaluate, what do you do best? Act like a stupid fool on TV. Yes, I can do that really good. Yeah. Okay, guys, I do what you do best. Thank you. Have you ever had an apprentice? Oh, that sounds like somebody in the White House. But yeah, I'd be happy to help you with anything you need. Yeah, I'm around. I'm alive. I love helping. So let me know what I can, if I could fit it in paying customers. Yeah, it is what it's, yeah, because if I don't feed myself doing my work, then I can't do the work, you know. And so it's important. That's why capitalism is important. You show me that this is a value. If nobody's paying for what I'm doing, then it's probably not a value. I have to think of something else to contribute to society, that they think it's a value. I want to help other people. Otherwise, if I just think it's a value, then that's sort of like masturbating. You know, it feels good to me, but yeah, we're here to make love to somebody else. And that's the important thing. Okay? Okay, let me do that research. Okay. Talk to you later, guys. Thank you. And thank you so much for all the kind words that you give to me. That's more important than anything. Thank you. Yeah, you're right about helping other people, then you get everything you want. You're right. Ooh.